guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Nasa spotlight na naman ngayon ang International Student Program. Bakit? Well, tuluyan ang nag-viral yung isang exchange that happened in a House of Commons committee meeting last week. Actually, na-air ko yun in a few episodes last week. In that committee meeting, tinanong yung ilang mga IRCC representatives, you remember this, tungkol sa mga non-compliant international students. Non-compliant dahil nireport daw sa IRCC ng mga colleges and universities na hindi sila nagsipasukan. Okay? Siyempre, nung lumabas yan last week, eto na ang lumabas na balita. Okay? Naku, may 47,000 foreign students who may now be in Canada illegally. Oo, may be in Canada illegally. Kasi there are also possible scenarios na nag-transition sila into different status. In that case, hindi po sila magiging illegal. Pero syempre, ito na ngayon ang iniisip ng mga tao, nasan tong mga to? Kung hindi sila pumapasok, they are in violation of their study permit conditions, they are here illegally, and they should leave. Yan, ito na naman tayo, babalik na naman ako sa lagi kong pinupunto. Ang tanong, na tinanong din sa IRCC, okay, paano nyo, nasan sila ngayon? Kung sila ay fully non-compliant, kaya nyo ba silang hanapin at ipa-deport? Yan ang tanong, Ay, na-air ko na nga to guys last week, so I'm sure many of you have seen this at have heard what the answer is, nung IRCC. Basically, wala, nga, parang hindi nila alam. They're just leaving it up to CBSA to monitor. Parang ganun ang nangyari, Sige, ipi-play ko muna yung exchange na yan ulit, Ito yan. In-upload din po ng National Post sa kanilang YouTube account.
Are non-compliant and have disappeared in Canada.
Yeah.
You also said that 8% of students in your testimony are non-compliant and have disappeared in Canada with study permits. That works out to, by my math, about 79,000 based on data from end of year 2004. Do you know where these people are?
So I'd like to clarify that I mentioned 8% of the students that we asked for compliance information from were potentially non-compliant. So in terms of the total number of students that we did ask for compliance, that results in potentially 47,175. We have not yet determined whether or not they are fully non-compliant.
Okay.
These are initial results that the institutions provide to us.
Could you find them if they are compliant?
Any foreign national in Canada would be under the purview of the Canada Border Services Agency.
Okay.
So they have an inland investigation
So how do you
team.
know if your measures are effective?
We are constantly collecting that data. So as I mentioned,
So you do share data with CBSA?
we do share data with CBSA.
Okay,
yes.
but you don't know where they are, if they're compliant.
So if they are compliant,
Or
they
not
would be
compliant.
registered in the post-secondary institution.
Okay, I've heard enough. How many right now are fully non-compliant?
I don't have that number.
Can you provide that with committee?
That would be a challenging number because
How do you, if you don't know how many are non-compliant, how can you track them and remove them?
So the 8% are potentially non-compliant, meaning that the university or the post-secondary institution, the DLI, has reported back that they don't
Okay.
have information that
Thank
these
you.
individuals
Madam
are.
Chair, I'd also
currently
like to use my
registered.
time to give a verbal notice of.
Ako na ikakat yan, tingnan nyo. So, how many are fully non-compliant? Hindi niya alam. She doesn't have that number. Diba? So, paano nyo sila natatrack? Pwede mo bang ibigay sa akin yung number na yan later on? It would be challenging daw, ang sabi. Ang lumalabas, ang dating sa akin, nung sagot ng IRCC is they're heavily reliant doon sa information na nire-relay lang sa kanila ng colleges and universities. Okay, kumbaga, tatawag ang college at university, inform yung IRCC na, hindi pumasok si student A. And then that's it. That's the problem. I don't know, it's unclear what actions they take upon getting that information. Kasi kung tutuusin guys, lumabas na tong balita na to in January 2025. Okay, ito po yan, Wait, let me show you. Ayan, this is from the Globe and Mail, January 2025. I truly believe that this is the same group of students, no? Yung nearly 50,000 foreign students listed as no-shows by Canadian schools. So, January pa ito ni-report. Okay, October na, it's been 10 months. Tapos, hindi pa rin nila na-determine kung fully non-compliant na talaga to. Kasi kapag sinabing fully non-compliant, talagang tuluyang hindi na pumasok. 'Di ba? Wala. Parang hindi niya masagot. 'Di ba? Actually, in this episode, I just am curious, no? Gusto ko yung tanungin, anong tingin ninyo ang nangyari sa mga estudyanteng ito? Oh, yan. Yan ang magandang pag-usapan, di ba? Well, I will share some possible scenarios. Di ba? Teka muna, tanggalin muna natin ito. Ito pala. Una sa lahat, alam nyo naman, di ba? Noon pa na balita, pag dumarating daw dito yung ilan, tumatawid na lang papuntang US. Pag dumating na, nagland na sa Canada, airport pa lang minsan, may imi-meet na raw sila, mga binabayaran nila para itawid sila papuntang Amerika. Okay, illegally cross the border. That's one scenario. Actually, yung scam na yan, madalas, o yung modus niyan ginagawa madalas ng sa Indian community, no, it's been reported that they engage in such illegal activities. And by the way, yung 50,000 estimated MIA na students, kalahati po dyan, okay, or a little less than half ang according to data ay galing po sa India. Okay. Anyway, so that's one possible scenario, nagpunta ng US. What's another possible thing that happened? Well, tuluyan na silang nagtago na lang. Okay, tuluyan na silang nagtago. No show, and then nagpalipas na lang ng permit. Obviously, ma-out of status sila. May mga ganyan siguro, di ba? For whatever reason, perhaps yung iba, no, ayaw magbayad sa school. Ang nasa isip nila, hayaan mo na, nandito na ako. Okay, bahala na to. Kung paano ako mabubuhay. Posible po yan. Another scenario, ito naman, siguro mga rare mangyari. But it's also possible. What if pagdating dito, bigla po silang nag-transition into a visitor visa? Okay. Maybe that's possible. I'm just not so sure din, a-approve kaya sila ng ganun-ganun lang pag makita ng visa officer na kakadating mo lang ng international student, mag-a-apply ka to be a visitor. I don't know. But I won't be surprised if may nagtangka pong gumawa niyan. Okay, another one. Siguro nag-transition sa work permit. Okay, malay mo pagdating dito, no? Naghihintay pumasok ng klase. Bago pumasok, may lumapit sa kanya, "Uy, huwag ka nang pumasok diyan. May lamia ako para sa iyo. Bilhin mo na lang 'to, baka makatipid ka pa sa tuition fee mo. Tapos makaka-full-time work ka." Baka may mga ganyang sitwasyon, But I would say it's maybe rare. Okay, kayo, ano ang bet ninyo, palagay ninyo nangyari dito, no? Ang hirap naguhulaan tayo dahil mismong yung mga agencies na dapat ay monitoring these people, hindi alam kung ano ang nangyayari. Sabi nung IRCC kanina, parang nasa purview na raw ng CBSA itong mga temporary residents na to. Yes, but let's be real. I think the only time that CBSA would go after these non-compliant students is if may magsumbong. I don't think they are in the priority list of the CBSA. Okay, yung mga dapat nang nasa priority list, di ba, nasasabi ko noon, yung mga temporary residents na nag-commit ng serious crime, hindi pa nga nila matuntun yung iba, di ba, na natakasan sila, hindi na lang nagsisulputan sa mga deportation proceedings. What more, itong mga wala pa namang ginagawang krimen, nandito lang talaga, pag-alagala, hindi natin alam kung nasaan, di ba? Yeah, so what do you guys think? Kayo, ano ang tansya ninyo, no? Yung sa akin lang, isa pang naiisip ko dyan, dahil ito na naman ang balita ngayon, dadagdag na naman ito. Sa galit ng ilan sa International Student Program, kawawa naman yung mga kababayan nating wala namang ginagawang mali. Okay? Mga genuine international students who are fully compliant with their study permits. The hatred towards them, lalala na naman. Diba? Kawawa naman. Ganyan talaga ang realidad. Kakainis. But anyway, the question remains, ano kaya ang pinaplano ng IRCC at CBSA para sa mga ganitong uri ng tao na nagta-take advantage, I guess, sa leniency rin kasi ng Canada, no? Honestly, if the government wants the people's perception towards immigration to improve, kasi alam nyo, di ba? The anti-immigration or anti-new immigration sentiment has been growing over the past year. Kung gusto ng gobyernong maging mas welcoming ang mga Canadians sa mga new immigrants, dapat ayusin nila yung mga ganitong bagay, hindi ba? It's just basic. Kasi naging perception ng marami ngayon, lahat na ng mga stream, parang pinag-manipulate na lang nung ilang mga new immigrants. Diba? At yan ang na-highlight sa balita, imbis na yung mga benepisyo na nakukuha from temporary residents. But that's how it is. Let me know what you guys think. I will end this episode here. I look forward to reading your comments. See you guys in the next one. Bye!